and welcome, it's Matt Finnegan here. You're watching another Soccer Insight betting preview brought to you by betting-insight.com. Well, in this preview we're looking at the Saturday tea time game, West Ham versus Man City. Now looking at the OP index prices here, we rate Man City 1.85 on the index, West Ham 4.9, and the draw is 3.85. Now going into the game, West Ham really needed the victory, and you could argue it was the victory of round 7, a 3-0 win away at Spurs. City, well, they've been largely relying on their home form, and they ran out convincing winners last time, 3-1 against Everton. So both, going into that international break will be positive going into the game. Now, what about the head-to-head over the last 6 seasons? Well, West Ham just 1 victory in 6 games, 2 draws, Man City winning 3 of those games, and you would expect City to be odds on going into this match. Now let's have a look at the early prices on the exchange. These are taken on a Wednesday, so it's very, very early. These previews are an early look into the market. Now, if you do like what we do, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up as we plan to introduce some live broadcasts of the markets on Saturday mornings, so do give us that thumbs up. Anyway, you can see that Man City here just a shade over 8 to 11, 1.74, so there's no value in this game, and you're going to need to be creative. Now cover some of those options that you may have in a minute or so. West Ham, you can see 5.7 on the exchanges. That is above our 4.9 tissue price, and the draw, a little bit of value there at around 3 to 1. Now, what options do you have if you feel either team will get a result or go on to win the game? Let's have a look at West Ham first. Well, we've established that their value going into the game, and you're going to get value in lots of markets. The exchange price is most likely going to be the highest, but I think you'll get at least 9 to 2 with the bookmakers as well, so it's good value if you feel that they're going to get that home victory and take all 3 points. One possibility that you could consider with West Ham is playing in the Asian handicap market. Now you really possibly do need around, I would say, at least 1.73, 8 to 11 plus 1 goal, and I think that in the Asian handicap market is the market that you should probably consider if you get that price. Basically, you're going to get the money back if Man City win the game by 1 goal, so you've got lots of that. You will only lose if City run out comfortable winners by 2 or more goals, so that is certainly an option to consider in the Asian handicaps, but you do need that price. 1.73 is the minimum price that you should be taking on that option. Another option is the double chance, and if you're not familiar with the double chance, it's the same as laying City on the exchanges. Basically, it's West Ham and the draw, and it's a price for that to happen. Okay, and you should be looking for around 6 to 5, 2.2. Anything better than that, you're getting value, but that's the minimum price that you should be taking on this. You're getting a bit of more value on the exchanges just doing that, but if you're not familiar with that, then look for the double chance market, because that is the same as laying on the exchanges. Man City in the draw, look for the 6 to 5 price. Now on the flip side, City to win the game, they're not value, they're slightly shorter than our tissue, and I wouldn't be surprised as we get closer to the actual match that they've shortened. Certainly if some of the big teams during Saturday have won, I can see City's price coming in a little bit further. So there's no value, and that makes it difficult if you want to get involved with them to win the game. You're gonna have to be sort of creative, ramp the price up. One of those options, of course, and I'm going to cover the winning margins in greater detail in a minute, is Dutching 1 or 2 goals. Okay, now looking at this, ideally you would want 11 to 8, 2.38, but I don't think that you're actually going to get that price. Okay, most likely be 5 to 4. That is still better than the index price, so it's still ramping the price up, but again, you would want a little bit more than that, and if you can get that, then great. Another option, and I think this is possibly speculative, Man City in the half-time, full-time market, and what you're doing here is actually sort of saying Man City most likely to get the first goal, and they do keep a good defence going to half-time, leading, and then they see out the game and see out the victory, and that I think you'll get above 2.5, 6-4 in old money. If you can get around 13-8, 2.62, then even better. That's what you should be looking for, but a benchmark is probably 250, but see if you can get slightly higher than that in that market. Looking at the winning margins market, like I say, at the moment time of recording, and these are subject to change, we do record this quite early in the week to get them up as an early snapshot of the markets leading into the weekend. 5-4, 2.24, 1 or 2 goals. Now, if you really wanted to be speculative, and this, if you're confident of a comfortable City win, you'll ramp that up to 24-10, 3.4 in decimals, dutching them to win by 2 or 3 goals. That's basically saying that they're going to win the game. It's going to be more than 1 goal, but it's not going to be by 4. I can't see West Ham losing at home by 4 goals. And it's a little bit more speculative, but it depends how confident that you are. Dutching, there's no angle dutching any of the markets. West Ham, you're already getting value in there, so why do any sort of elimination? If you was going to play in the winning margin markets on West Ham, if you feel that they're going to win, then take that 6-1, 7.0 available on them actually winning by 1 goal margin. If they're likely to win, it's most likely going to be by that single goal, so that really does ramp the price up there. Looking at the unders and overs, it's not surprisingly the unders in the 2.5 goals market is value. I've seen 11-10 at time of recording, but if you do get even money or above, then you're getting slight value against the OP index price, which is just slightly odds on there at 1.97. So again, if you feel the game's going to be tight, you're getting value for that. You're getting value on the under 1.5 goals market as well. But the flip side of that is the 3.5 and 4.5, the value is on the overs here, and that's probably taking a reflection on how many goals do you feel West Ham will score. Now, if you feel that they score 1, then 3.5 may enter your thought process, but like with any overs, you can get involved during the game. You don't have to play your card, and the markets are moving in your favour, so even though it's value, you're probably not going to play there. Finally, into the in-play stats. Matches 0-0 at 25 minutes. There is only a 37.31% chance that there's going to be a goal before half time. So, it really is odds against here. So if it's 0-0, the stats are saying that it's most likely going to finish 0-0 at half time. The market, the value is going to be either back in 0-0 draw or back in under 0.5 goals in the first half. Okay, they're in the in-play markets. That's where the value is going to be. Of course, use your match reading skills. Use your eyes to see your thought process of whether that goal is going to come. But the value is most certainly going to be on the underside in those markets. Now, there is a 70% chance of a goal happening between 25 and 70 minutes. That's that middle band, that middle 45 minutes, a 70% chance. And if that happens, it's an 84.5% chance that there'll be more goals in the game. So, again, it's goal might be the catalyst to open things out, so you just bear that in mind. If there is a goal scored, say before half time, the chances are it's a high probability that there's going to be another goal in the game. And finally, there's a 71% chance the last goal of the match coming after 65 minutes. So these late goals, 1.41 or above, the market most certainly will be above that at that time. 65 minutes, you're looking at 1.6, probably maybe a little bit high depending on how many goals have been in the game and the match situation. So you're getting value for the late goal, and something like that you may want to take a punt at, at 191, a goal around 74-75 minutes with firms like Paddy Power pre-game. Anyway, that's it from me. Like I say, if you like what we do, give us a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel. Want to do live broadcasts, hope to bring them very, very soon, and I'll speak to you again in another betting preview. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.